Hello, this is Chaplain John. This is Chaplain Maria. I'm sorry, Maria. Chaplain Maria, and we are talking about spirituality and making it healthy within our bodies, and our minds, and our spirit. So let's continue our discussion. We were talking a little bit about defining spirituality and what it isn't. It isn't religion. We're talking about spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about seeing it in our lives, in the support structure of our lives, as being one of the critical elements, one of the three critical elements: mind, body, and spirit. And that all three of these need to work together to have a healthy being, or to be a healthy human being.
Yeah.
So the next stuff we want to do is to try to see spirituality at a level we can all understand. It might be like a low level of spirituality, you might say, where we can see it every day within our own lives.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about where that might be. Remember, spirituality, like we discussed, is you can't see it, touch it, or feel it. It's metaphysical. It isn't physical.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that we experience every day that is metaphysical is our feelings.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about feelings today a little bit, and I'd like to have Maria tell us talk to us, Maria, about positive feelings. What are some positive feelings that you experience and that our viewers would experience every day in the form of a result of something that happened to them? What feelings do we go through every day? And sometimes we're not even aware of them, but what are they?
Well, obviously there's a feeling of happiness. And, happiness comes from when you see something good happen, or maybe a coworker or a friend or a family member accomplish something, or even something for yourself. You've accomplished a great task, or maybe just have run a marathon and you were able to finish. There's a feeling of happiness and contentment.
So what I'm hearing you say is that's a result of something that happened.
Mm-hmm.
That feeling of happiness. I'm going to take the negative side, okay? Now,
Okay.
I like to look at spirituality as either light or dark. It's easy for me to understand that, and I found that it's easy for a lot of people to understand
Yes.
when you put it in terms of light and dark.
Mm-hmm.
Dark being negative, right, and light being positive.
Correct.
All right. So I'm going to take the negative side. You said that happiness is a feeling that we have. Well, isn't sadness also a feeling that we have, and we can experience that daily?
Yes.
Or especially when something traumatic happens to us. Maybe we lose a loved one, or we have a patient, a medical person may have a patient that dies, or we may, something didn't go right in our job, or we were passed over for a promotion, or maybe we have a relationship that broke up, or whatever it might be, causes sadness in our life. Now, what are the results of that sadness? What else do we feel? It's not just sadness when you feel. What else do you feel when you're sad?
Well, you might feel depressed.
You might and then that's dark.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling like I can't accomplish something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that I don't have the right to be happy.
Yeah.
It could be so many different things can play into sadness, but it's definitely that feeling is there's something going on there that I can't touch and I can't see,
Mm-hmm.
but it manifests itself in me, in my being, and who I am.
And affects you greatly.
And it can darken my spirit, or it can
Mm-hmm.
brighten my spirit.
That's right.
Right? All right, so what's another feeling?
Peace.
What's peace like for you?
Peace is when I'm in harmony with my being, with who I am. And
Right.
peace allows me to have freedom. It allows me to think not only clearly, but energetically as I look for the future. Peace is, I find that it's easy to be around peace. It's easy to be around yourself and other people when you're experiencing deep peace.
It really is, and that's such a positive feeling, isn't it? I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
like it can bolster you for the day.
Oh,
If
yes.
something happens that brings you peace. In fact, sometimes when I work with patients, I'll pray for them occasionally, as being a chaplain, as you do too. And sometimes I'll pray for a peace that passes all understanding, so that they can have that sense of well-being,
Yes.
even in the midst of their illness. All right. But what's the negative side of that? If you look on the other side of the coin of peace, you would have anxiety and anxiousness.
Mm-hmm.
You would have a sense of confusion, a sense of scatteredness, maybe, or there's so many negative things that can happen if you're not if you're not peaceful. It doesn't have to be just one opposite feeling. It could be 10.
Yes.
You could have a sense of insecurity and of aloneness if you don't have peace. There's all kinds of negative things that can happen. What happens to my spirit when I'm feeling that way?
Well, obviously you're down. You're not as energetic, not as productive.
It becomes dark.
And it's hard.
Can it
It's
ruin
very
my
hard.
day?
Absolutely.
Can it ruin my life?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Over a long enough period of time.
Mhm.
What's another feeling that we have that you sense, that you can sense? A positive one.
Love.
Love. That's a huge one.
Yes,
That's
is.
one of the biggest. The feelings of to be loved,
Mhm.
or to be beloved of somebody,
Mhm.
or the sense of being of loving somebody, is a very that can certainly bring peace, for instance, right?
Mhm.
It can certainly bring happiness, for instance.
Mhm.
It can bring. What else can it bring? It can bring. There's probably another 10 definitions you can give, right?
Yes.
Give me just a couple more. What are some of the feelings that I can get when I'm loving or when I'm loved?
Well, I think you're more kind.
Kindness,
Gentle,
consideration,
sensitive. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
right?
Patient.
Right. Right. When you love somebody, you're patient. There's so many things that go into love.
Mhm.
Love is a decision, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
There certainly can be. The negative side of love, when you feel unloved,
Mhm.
well, the polar opposite of love is hate.
Hate.
But when you go to feelings of hate, oh my, that can just tear you down. That can ruin not only your day but your life. There's like probably 50 adjectives you could use to describe a person that is unloved or that doesn't know how to love. You're sad. You have no joy in your life. You've got no peace in your life for sure. You're certainly not happy.
Mhm.
And you can go on and on and on and on, but it's dark, isn't it?
Oh, it's very dark. It can lead to bitterness and resentment, and out of that comes just more sadness and more darkness.
Right, and that's all evidence. That's
Yes.
all evidence of something going on.
Mhm.
So is that spiritual or is that physical?
That's both.
It is both. Because it's happening in your physical body, but the
Yeah.
results you can't see them or touch them or
No.
feel them. They're just manifested.
Yes.
That's spiritual.
It's very spiritual.
That's very spiritual. And the next time we're going to talk about a little bit about the force behind that and some of the principles that cause these things. But we just wanted to show you what spirituality could look like, even with something as simple as our feelings. So you have an assignment for them, don't you, Maria?
I do. So, what we'd like you to do is get a journal and just become aware of your feelings for the next 7 days, and write those down. And then with that, identify what is the root or what's behind that feeling, what caused that feeling of happiness or sadness. And then if you can identify, was it an internal choice or an external choice or force that came to create that feeling. So just journal that for the next 7 days, and then we'll move forward from there.